series, I Survived, bringing you incredible stories of people who overcame the odds in the face of life-threatening events. In 1993, Natasha Alexenko was a carefree 20-year-old living in New York City when she was brutally attacked. Here is her story of survival.
My name is Natasha Alexenko, and I'm an author, survivor, and founder of Natasha's Justice Project. I was a student going to college in Manhattan. I was in the city of my dreams. It was something I had dreamt of my entire life. I felt safe, and on August 6th of 1993, I was walking home. I went to my apartment like I did every day. The next thing I knew, there was a man holding a gun to me. We were in, I guess, the foyer of my apartment building. In that moment, I decided to just do whatever he told me to in order to stay alive. He asked if we had a roof, and I said we did. The entire time we're riding up the elevator, he has a gun to my head. He's threatening to kill me, and I had no idea what was going to happen. The actual roof was locked, so there was like a landing. He told me to take off all my clothes. I'm thinking he's going to rob me, and then he's either going to kill me because I saw his face, or he is going to just run away. Not thinking that rape was part of this horrific night, but it was. Not only was I afraid for my life, but all of a sudden I was being violated and I was exposed, completely exposed. Time kind of warps itself. Was it 5 minutes? Was it 10 hours? I don't think my brain has ever been able to comprehend the length of time. He told me to put my clothes back on. I had this gun on me the entire time, so all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, this is it. And I started picturing my dead body, and he told me to count to 10 and left.
Natasha Alexenko writes about her ordeal and more in a new book called A Survivor's Journey, From Victim to Advocate. Natasha, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So how did he get in that vestibule with you in your apartment building?
To this day, I try to go over the details, and I really don't know. It just happens so quickly.
You open with the key, and you go into that little area before you get into the second door?
Correct, yes.
And suddenly he was behind you?
Suddenly, it was almost like he just appeared out of nowhere, yes. And yeah, there he was.
And I know you write in the book about how, of course, your mother had taught you the lesson of being aware of your surroundings when you're walking down the street, but
yes.
You know how it is. You're not every time. You slip.
Yes.
And so there he was. Is it true he showed you the bullets of the gun?
Yes, he did. And in fact, I remember the gun with such clarity. And I think what was really difficult about the ordeal was not being able to recollect his face, but even right now, if I close my eyes, I can picture that gun as if I just saw it yesterday. Mm-hmm. But his face has always eluded me somehow.
Do you believe if you hadn't gone along with what he was ordering you to do, the rape, that he would have killed you?
I'm pretty certain that would be the case, definitely.
And so do you believe that the rape, in a way, the way you handled his desire to rape you saved your life?
I certainly can't speculate, but I did everything I could to cooperate in order to stay alive. That was my method of self-preservation, mm-hmm. was to ensure I didn't anger him anymore, because he would go from being very relaxed to very angry. It was really hard to predict where he would be. And I noticed as long as I was cooperating with him, as long as I was following his directions, it kind of kept that anger at bay to some extent. Yes.
He made you take off your clothes. He made you take off your cross.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that moment?
That was really difficult. Of course, my father passed away when I was 8 years old, and the last thing I had from him was this gold cross that I wore every day. And I just remember that moment, having that cross ripped away from my neck. And it was just such an important thing I carried along with me. But And again, this is all part of the survival that I went through. You know, when people heard that my cross had been taken away from me, people came out of nowhere giving me crosses. And
And I know you felt like even in the midst of that horror, there was a light shining in you, that there was some sort of protection with you.
yes, yes. I don't, you know, and it's hard to give that a name, but I certainly felt that I wasn't alone in that moment. I mean, if you were to tell me what would it feel like in that moment, but I felt like something was almost holding me and just keeping me safe. And whatever way you want to look at it, whether it's that voice inside of you or God or whatever our higher power is, I mean, I definitely have and continue to feel that with me to this day. And I think that's been such a part of my journey.
So she got through this horror, but that was not the end of her story. A decade after Natasha's rape, she received a phone call with astonishing news about the rape kit she had taken right after her attack.
I really wanted to do all I could to make certain that we could find this monster that decided to snatch me from the streets. The police said they would continue to stay in touch, and then after some time they said, "We're sorry, we're going to close this case. We've exhausted all leads, and that's it."
That was about a year after Natasha Alexenko was raped at gunpoint. She was just 20 years old at the time. She shares her story of survival in her new book, A Survivor's Journey from Victim to Advocate. And so there you are a year after with It's Done and We Didn't Find Him. And then 10 years after, what changed?
Well, 10 years after, I got a call from the district attorney's office in Manhattan, and they said, "Here's some news. We didn't get around to testing your rape kit, and we are now about to test your rape kit." Mine was one of 17,000 kits in New York City in 2000 to 2003 that weren't tested, that New York City tested.
And they got a hit?
They didn't get a hit immediately, but what we were going to do, because at that time there was a statute of limitations.
10-year statute of limitations on rape.
Correct, exactly. So what we wanted to do was a John Doe indictment. So basically you would charge the DNA.
Basically, it's a procedural thing that meant to hold the statute from expiring.
Exactly.
So when did they get a hit on his DNA?
So I was raped August 6, 1993. They got a hit August 6, 2007.
And was there a trial?
There was a trial.
You testified? I
did testify, yes, I did. It was very difficult. I mean, certainly it was the moment the power was back in my hands. But when I saw Victor Rondon, the man that raped me, it was as if no time had passed. And even though, you know, in my head I knew I was safe, my body was like, get out of there. And I passed out. I passed out in the courtroom. And it was just like he was there in front of me, and instinctively I knew somehow that that was a man that caused so much pain in my life.
He was convicted. He is sentenced to stay in prison until what year?
He's in prison until 2057, where he can't harm another human being.
But the story is bigger than that. It's bigger than that, because now you've devoted your life to advocacy for other rape victims, rape survivors, whose rape kit tests in many states, especially now, thanks to you, not so much in New York anymore, but in many states are still sitting on shelves. Can you give us a feel for the magnitude of the problem?
Yes, I think the thing that should make us all really afraid is we don't know how many rape kits remain unprocessed throughout this nation. We're finding out on a regular basis that there's all these different jurisdictions that have untested rape kits.
Because it costs money. It costs $1,000, $1,500 or so to test each kit.
Exactly.
And they don't allocate the funds.
Right. And they're not allocating the funds. And on top of that, I mean, you know, you have to recognize every rape kit represents a human being whose body was a crime scene. Was a story who maybe as a Victor Rondon, like the man that raped me, was on a nationwide crime spree. He committed crimes in 7 different states across this nation. So as you mentioned, 1,000 to 1,500, how much did it cost us as taxpayers, as survivors, law enforcement? What kind of burden that put on us?
That's how you have to phrase it to get people's attention. But of course, the truth is, how much was your body worth how much was this life of emotional turmoil you've had to deal with worth? Was it worth $1,000 to the state? Could we find the money somehow to test these rape kits that these women give? They are not pleasant to go through.
Certainly not.
And you have to give them right after you have been raped.
Exactly.
I know that you've been calling attention to it. So is Mariska Hargitay, who's also pushing for similar testing. We've been doing better in New York.
Yes.
But that's just the beginning, because so many states aren't doing it at all. Natasha, thank you for telling your story.
Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share not only my story, but sharing the story of so many other survivors, especially during Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I'm thinking of them all. And
check out the book, too. It's from the heart. And it's called A Survivor's Journey from Victim to Advocate. Natasha, thank you again. We'll be right back.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.